Happy Friday, everyone. We are back Friday live.
Yeah,
it's been a while for me.
Yeah.
I know. I've been gallivanting around. We'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. But today we thought we'd play a few holes.
Yeah.
Casa de Campo, where I've just come back from.
Already one up on the first tee.
One up on the first tee. We're going to play a few holes, take some questions, talk about what's been going on in the studio, what's to come. Just a bit of a general chin wag for the next hour. Give you a chance to see the simulator that TrackMan delivers and our Winter League Series. So we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. And play some golf.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know.
The weather we've had has been a nightmare.
I know. So if you've got questions, fire them at us. We're going to get going pretty quickly because we want to try and play full 9 over the next hour or so. So let's get going.
Right, straight in.
Straight in. First hole is a 400.
I'll let you describe.
Yeah, 403-yard par 4. I was out there with 11 clients of mine for 10 days. It was fantastic. 6 rounds of golf. Peak Dye. 3 golf courses at Casa de Campo in Dominican Republic. This one, Teeth of the Dog, that we're playing is, I think, top 15 in the world.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Stunning,
yeah. Five holes on the front 9 is along the water. And then they've got 3 holes on the back 9 that are along the water. We've played the toughest of the water holes. So it might be
drama, don't we?
It might be calamity golf.
Yeah.
James, as usual, on drums, so he's going to be dealing with the questions as they come at us.
Right.
Fire away.
So
Best
the
of
rule
luck.
is if it's not a par 3, it's driver. I think is the rule. Right. Okay.
Ripped.
Yeah, straight in the thought. That's why it went offline.
Well, do you know what? Every single day I played this hole, or this course, I hit it exactly where you are. Right.
So what would you say was so, I mean, of course, that you rate really highly. What would you say was so special about this course?
The quality and the location. I mean, the location is, honestly, is literally on the edge of the ocean.
Yeah.
And the greens are, and the fairways were as pure as I've ever seen. Yeah, it's absolutely spectacular. Backed up with the quality of the resort as well, with the hotel. Everyone gets a buggy. I mean, the resort is the size of Southwest London. It is huge.
And you've been there?
I've been there like 25 years ago, and I went back with some groups, some guys and girls, and it was just a spectacular time. The practice area was open to anyone at any time,
right.
And again, because you've got a buggy, you can just come out your room, chuck your clubs on the buggy, and off you go and play and practice. So it was a really enjoyable trip. Yeah, the golf coaching, we do some coaching in the morning, and coaching in the afternoon and evening. When it cooled down a bit, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
How many trips a year do you do in total?
How many trips do I do? So I run half a dozen boot camps during the winter, 3-day, 4-day events, where it's just focused really on the coaching and playing, and then I do a couple of week-long trips. And we're running of course, we're running our Costa Navarino trip,
that'll be a
team
good one
trip,
next year.
which we'll talk about in a moment. Let me just knock this flag out, Simon, for you, and then. Oh. Stay. One of the things at this golf course, they have brutal runoffs.
Yeah.
They're super shaved, really undulating, and I mean, we're talking like 8 to 12 feet above you at all times, off tight lies. Really difficult to get it up and down. Really difficult to get it up and down.
That kind of reminds me about when we were in Mauritius, played Heritage, where the greens were set up above. Yeah. Big runoff areas. And I've got to try and gauge spin and. Okay.
So one of the things.
Otherwise known as hit and hope now.
Yeah. So the
Take that.
yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's filth. That is filth. I feel a trouncing is coming up.
That's good coaching.
Nice shot. So we have auto putt out,
Yeah.
and it's all related to handicap, isn't it? So using the strokes gained side of things.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about this. You can either set it to sort of a Tour Pro putt out. You can set it to, because you can put your handicap index on these as well. So it has averages of putting based on your handicap as well. So, and it's very true that the days, it's like on the course, the days you putt well, you hold loads of putts. And the days you miss one early, you miss loads. And this, I'm sure they've built in a standard golf, round of golf, in that it doesn't let you off. If you start off bad, it knows you're just going to carry on doing it. So,
really interesting feature, this whole, it's a waste area down the left.
Yeah.
Rocks, boulders, all sorts of nastiness down there. And you can sort of fly over the majority of it, but you only have to tweak it a little left. And
I like the picture you're putting into my head for
it's
this
not,
one.
it's not good. No. Well, you know, you've got to play the shot you see.
I'm going to do a 3-wood on this one.
Oh,
I'm going to go slightly chicken.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, whoops! I just clicked the wrong bit of the screen. There we go. Right.
3-wood. Cheat stick.
Yeah, just sort of. Yeah. Just feels like the right club. Yeah, it's that picture of the left-hand side that you put in my
sort of
head,
one,
yeah.
like that sort of floaty one down the right into the trees.
That's perfect,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah. See, I've never been an advocate if you cut. Yeah. unless you. Yeah. Yeah, I've never really been one for hitting it straight with my 3-wood. If I can't hit my drive straight,
I'm just going to align that. Yeah.
Thanks, Scotty.
So have you generally, would you view a course in a kind of an attack-minded side of things? So would you, when you look at a hole, how do you think about strategy? What's your kind of start thought?
I always think, how far can I get it down there? But above all else, can I hit driver? If I can't, what do I have to? I never go, what can I get away with hitting down there?
Okay, let's see.
Definitely the way I see it.
Hoist this one up.
I've always been quite a nice driver of the golf ball, and I think that's a big asset to have, isn't it? To be able to hit fairways.
Definitely, I think if you're a confident driver of the ball as well, you're not seeing, as you say, not seeing what you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's just
and also the resilience of a golfer as well, doesn't it? I mean, how do you want to look at it as a bad shot or a good shot?
Scar tissue.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's pulling out all his best stuff for the camera.
Yeah.
Stop. Nice shot. Nice shot.
Tell I'm used to being. You can tell I'm used to being offline.
I have to say, I'm not liking the start the way this is going. This has got drubbing written all over it. I
guess that was kind of my thought process on that too, was because historically my miss has been left. I was looking, going, right, what's going to get me in more trouble?
Right, right.
Which tells you why I was not very good at earning money playing. Swing. Not competitive at all.
Not at all, no. There's no part of me that wants to win at all.
So this was your first trip with your new set of clubs?
Yes, it was. And it was daunting.
Yeah.
However good it was, it's like new weapons, trying to play my...
Three-putted me.
It hasn't three-putted.
So
Has it
out of
really?
order. So out, it clearly knows my game.
God.
Yeah. But yeah.
I've got to get on the phone to Trackman and thank them. Daunting, because you're playing, my favourite golf course in the world, and I'm playing with equipment that I haven't really experienced on the golf course. First round shot 1 over, second round shot 1 under, hovered around par and finished off with 3 under around this golf course. So they worked really, really nicely. Yeah, really, really. It was such a pleasure to play with them. The driver felt just like a cheat stick. Oh no, come back.
That's right, 90% there.
Yeah, there you go. Got to whip it through those.
So what would you say in terms of on this? What would you say? Obviously, you said the driver, very forgiving. What would you say was the biggest difference in terms of playing with them and what the experience was like playing with them versus what you've done before?
It was the outcome of bad swings.
Yeah.
Outcome of bad swings were not what I thought I was going to look at when I looked up at the golf ball. Nice drive. Turn.
Oh, it did fade.
Oh, I thought that had a bit of draw on it.
I was trying to hit a little fade. I just thought I'd start it not
a bit
on that
too
line.
straight. Gotcha. I feel disappointed by that, obviously. And that's the weirdest thing was standing there looking up and then seeing something that I'm not used to seeing.
Yeah. And in terms of how you then visualise the holes. And,
yeah. Like making swings, and it's like, oh, that felt like that was going to hook, and actually, it came out pretty straight.
You want to hit dead at the green?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
This was a golf club that was just an absolute pleasure to use. 3-wood, hit this a few times on a downslope and still got flight with it. Felt incredible. This green is horrendous. It is so high and it is so shallow. That shot I've got there to that flag, it's like no chance. No chance.
Let's see what I've got. Right out under the lip. That's
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was never trying to go to the green.
right under the lip. That's just. Unfortunately, on here you can't hit it through the lip on this simulator. You've got to hit it over it.
Over it, yeah.
I've got to lay right back now. Okay. And was this some peak time for you to be in Dominican? Would you say?
It was just at the end of the rainy season, by all accounts. Just at the end of the rainy season. So we did have one day, actually, when we played the first round on the Teeth of the Dog, ironically, it had to be pushed back an hour because it had torrential rain and then buggies had to go on fairways, which is never fun, is it? I'd rather not have a buggy than go on a fairway than not go on the fairway with a buggy, but that was the only day that it actually questioned us. We had a bit of rain, very first thing, a scattering, and in the evenings, but nothing that made it feel cold or dampened our spirits of the all-inclusive bar.
Right. Yes, that's, so it's controlling yourself on that, isn't it? Right, so pin at the back. Let's just make sure this doesn't go long.
Get down, get down, get down.
Didn't go long, but it went right.
It didn't go wrong, it just went...
It didn't go long, yeah.
It just went a fraction to the side. So just an unpleasant green. You know, for par 5, you could get on. We didn't play it off this tee. We're playing it at 7,000. This tee couldn't get up in 2, really. Not for me anyway. But
Putting.
so, take that.
And so with your trips like this, are you playing, how much of it is coaching oriented? Is it more, there's any of that outside of the rounds of golf, or would you be...
Yeah, so it's a morning we'll do an hour on the range.
Yeah.
And then after we've played 18 holes, we'll have some lunch, and then we'll go spend 2 hours on the range, hitting balls, bit of practice with short game, and the short game area was spectacular. Again, just like grass, obviously all hitting off grass, nothing off of mats or anything, which is such a joy, isn't it? We're not used to.
Is it grainy grass as well?
It was a little bit. I think the caddies made more of it than it really was. I mean, I've putted in Asia and parts of States and stuff with real strong grain. This was minimal, to be honest. Got a question?
Just a question about one of the Mizuno drivers, about how spin profile changes if the 20 gram weight swap for a 14 but then some hot melt added nearer the face. In principle, you're moving the centre of gravity a little bit further forward, so in theory it's a little bit lower spin, in theory. It's not a huge amount of weight moving, so what we're starting to see with the drivers now is that you're starting to get kind of 8-10 grams minimum moving around to make a tangible difference. So you're not going to change it too much, and if you're trying to get hot melt near the face, you might ruin the driver. So be careful with it for certain. It will change the acoustics a little bit, but 6 grams change, theory lower spin, in practice not a lot. So be mindful of how much you're trying to change it versus, you're going to, depending on what loft setting you've got it in, just turn the loft down a little bit. That'll have a much more direct effect on spin.
And if anyone's got any questions about anything, coaching, fitness, rehab, golf equipment, that's why we're here. We want to give you have a bit of a Friday forum where you can just come along and ask anything that might be on your mind about the game. What have we got here? Oh yes, okay.
Very tight fairway by the looks of it.
Yeah. Okay, let's get one.
Drawing back over, just nuked it up the right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting. I mean, you've just had new set built. I'm probably going to. I haven't changed my clubs driver for a long time, and actually that's going to be a change I make in the new year. I've got an old TaylorMade M4 because the flight's very good, and haven't really seen enough benefit to change it. But I think new toy in the new year. I think we're far enough down the line from a product point of view for there to be a benefit now. So
yeah, and is there anything that you got your eye on?
The new Titleists perform well, and they've been really consistent. I mean, TSR4 is surprisingly forgiving relative to how much low spin it is, but I'm interested to see the results of Ping's new low spin driver. I mean, I'm probably in particular, but TaylorMade aren't going to produce a bad driver. I've always been a TaylorMade player because I've always launched it high, and they've been good at bringing the top down. Although I might need a bit more flight relative to an 8.5 degree M4 next time round. Yeah. But I'm pretty open-minded. The new Strixon drivers look pretty good as well. So it's kind of, I think it's just really, it's time now to do a proper test and change. Shaft-wise, I may stay with the XC graphite design that I'm using now. Again, I'll just do a kind of complete revamp, but it'd be interesting to see. I think forgiveness is going to be the main difference. Yeah. They can't make them any hotter out the middle, but can definitely make them better off the toe and the heel. So that was right out the heel. So that should start to go that way. Yeah.
Oh, found the bunker. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. So we've been starting to run some winter leagues now during the winter. Funnily enough, 9 holes between 2 and 3 hours long. Bit of refreshment. We had our first one in November.
Yeah, had first one, which was good. Yeah, it was on the back 9 here.
Yeah,
sort of relevant from your last trip.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way to get people together. Get a nice evening, obviously you see the studio, but just showcase a bit of what TrackMan can do. Like-minded people getting together, having fun. Really, it's just a nice way to spend a winter evening rather than being cooped up indoors when it's horrible weather outside. And actually, just a way to get a bit of golf in as well.
And of course, the other advantage is that if you've got a TrackMan account, we can sign you in. You can collect all the data from your evening's golf, which is nice to actually be able to get an almost on-course TrackMan data.
Yeah, it's and it's interesting. What's so good is if you're playing somewhere at altitude, it factors it in.
Right.
It's really very, very clever, all the adjustments it makes. Made life hard for myself there.
Oh, that's a shame.
Brutal.
I mean, I can't tell you that. There was a part of me that was saying get on the green, but there was a big part of me that was saying get off it.
Yeah, the coach in you saying I want to see him hit a good shot. Yeah.
193 out the rough. It's going to take 10% of the power off. Oh, that's a big 5-iron.
Another question. Let's see. So, question in from Ian Linfoot.
We've got a question.
Loving the match. Well, we'll see.
Again?
As it gets further in, I'm sure the competitiveness will kick in. son's 10 years old, 24 handicap, improving fast, ready for next set of clubs. Do I go for default Prodigy due to the free refit? I think what paying off for with the Prodigy series, with that effectively free refit in terms of length adjustment and things is great. I mean, ultimately, it just depends on your son's sort of size, strength. There's so many kind of definitely maybe kind of answers to that ultimately, but with the offer of the refit and going longer, there's certainly a great option. No one wants to spend more than they have to on them, especially that age where a golfer's developing and growing quickly. So to have that as an option, at least it buys you a second bite at the cherry as well, a second kind of adjustment to grow into and develop into as well. So they are a very, very good option for that. Yeah, for sure.
And as a product,
Pinger Engineers, it's a well-engineered product at a reasonable cost, conscious of it being a juniors product rather than needing as much tech as a sort of full-blown, full-price product.
And they're not going to lose out because of, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? I mean, they're giving you something to stay. I mean, at that young age, they're trying to hold on to someone.
They want
brand,
to get the loyalty to the brand side of things,
right,
but it creates some goodwill, and
brilliant.
they're not profiteering out of it, which has been so easy to do over the years through just knowing that children grow and need new clubs. So I think to have that element to it is a really honourable thing for them to do, and recognise that actually that one of the things with junior clubs is they're going to change pretty quickly. So I think that's good, and also they've cost engineered them well, so they're not they haven't compromised massively on tech, but they're still keeping it a very realistic cost.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. So good option for a junior up and coming.
Ball below the feet, it's not going to come back. Nobody likes to see that.
Nobody likes to see that.
Return the favour.
If only that little upslope that it's on would actually count for something.
Yeah. Oh, that is steep. Yeah.
And honestly, that is.
So if you want to play the flopper on it, then you can stick it on the front mat, because if you've got to flop one up there. So one of the reasons we put that front mat in is for wedge fittings and things like this in these sort of bays, you have to cushion them and make sure that you don't nothing breaks.
Untoward goes on.
Equally speaking, they bounce back off the cushions. So. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's unfortunate as well. He thought he was in love with that when it came off the face.
When that came out, I thought, hang on, I've played one here.
Right, what have we got? 50.
And the Winter League, what were the sort of scores that people were coming in with over 9 holes?
So there was 9 holes, so the winning score was 21.
Okay.
So there were 2 or 3 scores around the 18 mark, and then a couple in the mid-teens. So actually it's a reasonable bit of spread. Someone who wasn't competing had 23, 24 points.
Oh, who was that?
But you're not allowed to win your own competition.
Oh, man on drums, gotcha.
The biggest bandit in the building.
You know what that is, though, don't you?
Good equipment. Good fitting and good coaching. Good building. Yeah. Clearly shows where he loses most of his strokes in a round of golf, though. That touch.
It was a soft bogey.
Let's just see, is it going to 3-putt me again?
Oh yeah, we wouldn't want that.
A 1-putt par.
2
no,
putt.
that's all right. Me 1-putt par. You had a 2-putt double bogey. That's all right. It's just level it. Oh no! Look at this.
Now this
is a small green.
This is a small green, and it's a strong hole.
Right, 150, and it's right in the front. 159. Right. Okay, so.
And this green looks absolutely the size it looks.
Tiny, like the size of that mat.
Yeah, it's tiny. Okay.
Right, I'm going to go aggressive.
What club you got?
8-iron.
159.
160 yard club.
Is there any puff?
Half a mile an hour downwind.
Okay.
So unlike about the 50 miles an hour you can get there, I'd imagine. So, right. Go big or go home.
Wish you the best of luck.
Liar.
Wet left. Yeah, it's wet left. Oh.
You see,
Oh,
anyone
no.
knows that we've all been
Oh,
barracked.
get in the soup. What,
We've
sorry? What
all
did you
been
say?
barracked plenty over the
Oh,
years.
no. Well, unfortunately, that was a tremendous shot, Simon.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm really, really happy for you.
I mean, it just makes that green a bit smaller, doesn't
It
it?
really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. What club have you got?
I've got 9-9.
Okay.
It's
Better not miss hit that one then.
It's a big 9-9, to be fair, 159. I've got my fitter watching. I've got a fitter watching in the background. Have I definitely got 9-9? Yeah, I've got 9-9.
Sure, we haven't got the 6. It's got the adrenaline pumping.
How can you get this nervous
God,
over?
we're so chirpy as golfers, aren't we? Oh, that's an annoyingly good line. Get away. Oh, nobody likes to see that. That was a great swing.
Oh.
Never mind. It's not wet.
It's not wet, and that was the one thing that nobody wanted to see. Well, probably everybody wanted to see, but.
Oh, might have been just drag it back a little bit further back on that. So you've had in the. Actually, I'll ask it after this.
I've got a lot on my plate at the moment.
Yeah. That was a bit tasty. So in previous trips, I've seen you've had competitions about guessing how many balls go in the water.
Oh,
I'm imagining quite a lot here.
Now that's a very good, interesting question.
Was that carried over for this trip, or was it?
Yeah, we had exactly that same competition, and I will tell you, that was a.
When you were at in Paradis, Mauritius, it was a lot, wasn't it?
It was a lot. Yeah, so. It was 142 balls we lost between on this trip 6 rounds of golf. 142 balls.
That's about £1,000 in 3v1s, isn't it?
That is a lot of golf balls. It's a lot of golf balls. So we all guessed at the start. Do you know what? Do you know how many I guessed?
Did anyone get close?
John Loeffler had 150, but Anna Eldred. She guessed 140, 138, so she won the trip.
Oh, I've come out of that so far. That's so anti-left.
I can't understand why you were not wanting to hit it left, Simon.
No, it's just the
Soup up the
Pacific
left.
Ocean or something, or the Atlantic.
So you've got a two-shot lead. Two-shot lead.
So, question from Tim Ball, general driver fitting question for very short players. As a starting point, you adjust the shaft sleeve lie angle to the most flat position, and the opposite for tall players. You generally adjust. You might well adjust flatter for shorter players. You might not adjust upright for tall players, because upright also promotes a little bit more closure of the face. So you wouldn't always do either, but you quite often, particularly hybrids and fairways, you'd often go flatter if you could for a shorter player. The thing is, the ball's on a tee with the driver, and the driver's got so little loft that a lie adjustment doesn't really affect shot shape very much. It's whether it affects strike point. If it's upright and you're striking it out the heel,
It's more twist effect on the driver, right?
Yeah. So it's a bit like a putter. You've got so little loft, you can have it toe up, toe down by a lot, and it not affect start line.
Yeah.
Similar with the driver.
Yeah.
Similar. So it's not a definite given. You'd also look at someone's shot pattern and work out whether that was something you wanted to manipulate with that lie angle. But it's a small thing.
Yeah, and often on that point is people think that actually wedges aren't going to bend that much, but actually they're almost going to be the ones that are going to affect the worst, because particularly on a ball above the feet line, the loft is looking like over here.
That's where there's
comes out.
Again, we'll use our little tool here. So if I do it with I'll do it with a little stick to that. No, it's not the right metal. I'll do it on it's because of the magnet. So, there we go. So on a 4-iron, with that little loft, I can make it, I'll get that angle right, I can lift it up and drop it down, and it doesn't really change that face angle that much. However, stick it on a wedge, if I can get this to stay, stick it on a wedge, all of a sudden that moves, especially up a vast amount more because of the loft. So that's really where we say with the driver it's quite minimal. But as you go down to the bottom end of the bag, as Stuart said, pitch wedge above your feet or a gap wedge or sandwich above your feet, even chipping, bunker shots above your feet, below your feet, go a long way left and right as a result of that. Yeah. So lie, you'd use it to gear the shot shape a little bit, but it wouldn't just be based on someone's physical stature. So we're both a little leaky. Although you've got less scar tissue than me on that one, clearly. I haven't even played it, I've got scar tissue. Thank you for the questions, by the way.
Yeah, questions are great.
Anything and as many as you like, please just throw our way.
200, short hitter. I did hit that one a bit high. That's the thing that was weird on the golf course with the new driver. It didn't feel mine. It was every bit the straight driver.
Yeah.
Every bit. But I've got so much good times with my driver that coming in new, it was like, I know it's great, but
you haven't developed the relationship.
Absolutely.
That's the bit. Is also there is that bedding in period. You've got to, no matter how well a fitting goes or how well a lesson goes, it's the same kind of thing. Is that like I know I can leave my right heel down, give myself space to come through, and do what we want. Go on a course, it's that trust element of having seen enough results with it. And exactly it's the same thing with both. Yeah. You've got to go through that bedding in period. Sounded good. Sounded absolutely ripped.
Honestly, the greens are so small at this golf course. Yeah. They are so small, and they've got little ledges and knuckles.
I think where would be comparable from a green size point of view over here. So I think where I've played where the greens are tiny.
There was
Paradis, they're quite small.
Yeah, Paradis.
Paradis. So this is going to be 286.
Pardon? Seals Manor course. That's you wouldn't want to be hitting a 5-iron into those, would you?
The other one actually where I have played, proper golf name drop, Pebble Beach. Greens are tiny there.
Yeah.
But possibly these are smaller.
These are small. Pebble Beach.
Yeah. No, they were bigger.
Hang on a second, let me just pick that name up.
Yeah. Well, it's relevant from a green size point of view.
It is. Looks tasty. Another green hit? Surely not. Oh, look at him.
You see, this is clearly I need to free my mind up on the course.
This.
Oh, look at him. He's getting depressed, everybody. You can just see
I can hear my clients dropping off, cancelling sessions as they go.
Current scoreline, 2 shots. I'm 2 shots ahead at the moment.
Yes.
Not going to milk it or rub it in
no,
quite yet.
I definitely need to get this up and down. That is for sure. Go.
That's well played.
So then in that case, the bag would be...
Easy. Hopefully.
So I guess going back to one of the things we were talking about earlier, the trip we've got in April, doing a big trip. We've done some, James and I have done a couple of smaller trips in terms of distance. We've done a couple of the Mauritius trips and then did one to, it's another pretty par 3, did one to Portugal back end of this year, about a month and a half ago. But we've got a 48-person trip to Costa Navarino in Greece, end of April, which is really exciting.
Yeah,
really exciting.
With our travel partner, Golf Escapes. 4 pros, myself, Roger Chapman, senior PGA Tour winner, Paul Nestling, and Lewis Sparrow, our other coach here, all captaining 12 or 11 amateurs, 12 teams. Going to be different, right? I mean,
It's going to be some proper competition there. Yeah, this is not a kind of a, well, it is a friend. It's an unfriendly friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it should be great to have. I think when you've got the teams, you've got some identity of people that can kind of group together and have a little bit of, the commentary and the chirping in the evenings is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's the bit that I'm probably looking forward to the most, because what we're going to do is, as you know, in the evenings we're going to have shootouts. So one's going to be putting, chipping, par 3, and some driving.
Yeah.
Setting up a tee box. You've got to hit certain things, but those points count towards your team score.
Yeah.
And everybody's accountable. And I think that's going to be, we've got a cocktail in hand, sun setting, some really nice.
You'll see who's got on the sauce a bit sooner than others.
Yeah, that's right. That.
Either for a bit of Dutch courage.
I'm feeling nervous already. Got sweaty palms already.
What have we got?
So we've got 229-yard par 3.
That's quite. Wow, that's okay. That's 2-iron.
I'm reaching for the hybrid, a club that I never used to have.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of one where, I guess, the club selection bit, again, bring it back to the club element, would be where, for most circumstances, I'm very happy with this because it's wind or it's on a short par 4 tee or something like that. This sort of shot, you might look at and go, I wish I had a wooden hand, but I like my 2-iron, so it helps. But if I'm trying to flight it and land it soft, you know, we're not presented with many shots like, well, clearly over the edge of the ocean, but in terms of this sort of length par 3s where you've got to flight it and land it soft, I'm not hitting a lot of these sort of clubs into par 5.
No.
So it's where I might choose to put a hybrid in the bag for a shot like this.
And I'm glad that you haven't got one at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I can see it sort of falling out the air like a wounded mallard.
No.
Coming up short.
No.
But anyway, best of luck.
Yeah, that's all right. Little slight fadey 2-iron. There you go.
Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. I'm not playing you on this sim ever again. Don't stay on the green. Don't stay on the green.
I'll take it.
Sorry. Stay on the green.
take
It's a
it.
good shot, that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That's a good shot, that.
But an example of where that one with a flatter flight, if I had a club that flighted up a little bit more, then it holds the green.
That was
But it's very satisfying hitting a long iron.
it is very satisfying, yeah.
So when you've got a shot like this where there's trouble, very, very clear trouble down one side, ooh, Bemba's bounce, would you, so I was trying to take a little bit off mine, so I was trying to kind of effectively kind of hold it a little bit rather than, rather than kind of try and draw one in off the right. But, and now that with a bit of coaching I can hit a fade, which is more than I used to be able to do.
Yeah.
But would you, if you get a club where a hole like that where it doesn't suit your eye, or a player gets on a par 3 where it's not just a point shoot definite distance, from a swinging point of view, what would you advise them to do? From a coaching point of view, course management, would you advise someone to, obviously you don't really want to be aiming at trouble if you can help it.
No.
But what would be?
I think as soon as the hole doesn't suit your eye, from a club golfer's perspective, you've got to look at what's the hole offering you, rather than, obviously you don't like the look of it. But if you're playing a 400-yard hole and you've got a shot there, then turn it into a par 5.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't hit a 7-iron off a tee to the middle of a fairway, then times might be a bit tricky. So it doesn't matter probably what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Just get through the hole, because actually what you've got to do is you've got to shift the experience of that hole, because often the experience of that tee shot is actually what's caused you to not like the look of it.
Yeah.
So start to get some 2-pointers on it, play to your handicap, all of a sudden the hole might look very differently. The amount of pro-ams I've played in where you stand on the first tee or whatever tee and they go, I always make 6 here, or I always hit it there. It's like walking into the office and saying, I'm going to have a really bad day today. Yeah. Before anything's even happened, it's like you've set your mindset before you've been given yourself a chance.
Yeah. So take and more. Would you see it more as an off the tee thing? Is if you can get yourself in play, you can
broken the back of the hole, haven't you? Yeah, and even if you've still got 200 to go, well, wedge. I mean, if you're talking about a hole that has been a real banana skin for you, just break the back of the hole of it. Just make it almost silly. Like, what are you hitting wedge for there, Barry? Well, I just don't like this hole. Yeah. Wedge on. Just get out there and make your 2 points right. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Well, it feels like all I've done is chip.
Oh, hello. Oh, had him interested.
Oh. Please give me a 1 putt.
That should be.
I'm clinging on.
From there.
One putt par, one putt par.
Yeah.
Honours even on that hole.
It's going back to what we were saying earlier on. We're still sort of effectively early days with the grease trip. We've
Yes.
got several people. We've got a chunk signed up already, but there are still spaces. So it is a case of anyone interested, just let us know.
Yeah.
It's really a case of we've got a lot of spaces, so there's plenty of provision for people to come.
And it's and also understand that it's not about being a single figure golfer.
No, absolutely
If you're
not.
playing off a 28 or as long as you can get yourself around a golf course and you carry it with a big smile on your face, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's what's been so nice about the other trips we've had. Is there are golfers there, if I include myself, from plus through to 22 handicap, and it's golf is actually really about socially getting on, enjoying people's company, enjoying where you are, and not being at work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Anna, who came on the trip, she had 34 handicap. She was getting 40 shots around teeth of the dog. Came in with 34 points on the last day. Absolutely loved it, and unfortunately, you've absolutely killed that, haven't you?
well, it hasn't gone left.
Hasn't gone left.
Went exactly where I aimed it.
Well, I hit it in that trap.
That is the curse of the timid golfer. Good swing at a bad target line. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing really inspiring to aim down the left on this, but I'm gonna embrace it. Oh, that was not my best effort, but
was that a good bit of gear effect? well judged contact point. Yeah. The toe draw save. Who's it? Need to get 160. Right.
yeah, I'm buzzing about Costa Navarino. I think that is just going to be an absolutely belter of a trip. And of course you've got your Mauritius trip in at the end of the year at Beachcomber Paradis.
Yeah, no, that'll be. I'm probably going to be. In the past we had. Last time we had 13, 14 golfers. We're probably going to be 20 or 24. And I thought this time round, which would be, fantastic. It's just such a beautiful setting, and so great to share it with a load of equally pleasant people. Went a little bit safe on the clubbing.
So this hole, that back right hand, honestly is. Oh no! Look at that. I thought this was going to go.
Not quite standard, yeah.
Back right hand corner.
Yeah.
That's about 15 feet deep. That grass hole.
So I did the right thing to chicken out and come short. It doesn't look like there's a lot to aim at there.
No, there's not. One of the things that we've also offer now is the sim hire, isn't it? Practice,
through the winter
practice. You can come in and hire one of these bays out and do some winter practice. Have the trap man.
Either going to be one of these or one of the bays we've got upstairs when it's free. Absolutely, come and do an hour, 2 hours practice. Because you've got so much data to hand now. You've got so much information that the TrackMan can give you, and actually from a practice point of view, when you're out on the range, unless you have your own TrackMan or GC cord or anything like that, it's impossible to know exactly what you're doing. Whereas, so I'm looking forward to having a bit of time, with it, doing what we're working on. Just in some ways, not necessarily worried about. It's nice to see the feedback from, but really looking at the data and the numbers and working the swing lines and then hopefully doing what I'm told. You can book that via our website. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all plugged into there, so it'll give the relevant times. I mean that's something that we've now got the space to do, which was. We were looking at doing it then COVID, and then you couldn't have anyone in, so that was a couple of years back. But now we're, dare I say it, out of the woods in that respect. But we've now got the room to be able to facilitate that, which is great.
And I think trying to get across our desire to make this a facility that is not only custom fitting, precision fitting. It's about making you enjoy the game, get better at the game, having a place that you can come in, speak to our, use our expertise, whatever area that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
TPI certified, strength and conditioning coach, and
legend, certified legend.
Yeah, certified legend after the weekend. Those of you that didn't know and find out about it, that Kate entered a, what was the name of the High Rocks tournament? 250 people.
Was it 450 ladies?
450 women competing, and Kate finished number 1. And how many minutes did she beat the second best time?
Yeah.
So it's a minute and a half quicker than over an hour and 4 minutes. Yeah, incredible. So
and now off to the World Championships next year.
Off to the Worlds.
Yeah,
which
representing Great Britain.
Yeah,
very impressive.
We've got so much expertise here, and we're just trying to make people appreciate that we welcome everybody and anybody really that is passionate about the game or just wants to get better.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
enjoys the game.
it's not actually a case of necessarily changing anything from an equipment point of view, necessarily changing anything. I had a chap in the other day who the primary function was him understanding his game and his clubs better, and if there was something that was worth a really noticeable change, then that would be something to consider. But actually, it was really right. Get a picture of why he's seeing what he's seeing. See how things go through the winter, and then maybe kind of look at changing something in the new year or down the line. It doesn't always mean you're not necessarily coming in to make a change. Sometimes it's about learning. We just want people to. The more you can understand what's going on, the better you can play. Or you can understand why you hit certain shots as well.
Exactly, and that's it, right? I mean, having an evaluation that you understand why you're doing certain things. So if you do want to then go off and find other sources of information, so be it. But at least we can give you a nice, educated reason for why things happen, right? Well, I feel this is the 8th, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So I need to attack.
Only the 2 behind at the moment. So.
Thanks for reminding me. Come on, baby.
I get the feeling I shouldn't have wound you up.
Come on, baby.
Oh, don't miss it right.
I've gone exactly where I said not to go.
It was a lovely swing, though.
Brilliant.
You can demonstrate that flop shot of yours.
I'll get my lob wedge out again.
I mean, but looking at the videos you're posting, you're practicing that shot.
Yes, a lot.
Right, so 82 foot. That's 27 odd yards. Right, I'm going to land this about 16. So let's go.
Well, that's
run out
still
quite
tight.
as much as I
It's not
thought.
bad. That it's not bad. That my only hope here is that I can get this up and down, and it gives you a 3-putt. Walking to the. I mean, look at that. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? For heaven's sake.
Hit and hope, I would say. Yeah. It's also you also know what's the other side of the green.
I
as
know
well.
exactly
Not
what's
that I
the
wanna
other
highlight
side.
it. No gives a shit. Yeah. Nicely played. Is it clung on? And so with the greens there, have they got grain on the surface?
A little bit.
Quick enough that it doesn't really. Always got a cheeky little chip.
The caddies, as usual, sort of played up the grain quite a lot. I mean, there was a bit of grain in them, but nothing really that you go, you've got a right to left and it breaks left to right because of the grain.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. There's a little bit, not too much though.
Struck it too well.
Struck it too well, spun too well. Well,
so single hole shootout now.
it feels like
Let's
you've got
see what we do. 1 putt par, 1 pot bogey. Oh.
got an unassailable lead, got a 3-shot lead coming down the last.
Is there any water on this hole?
There's unfortunately not.
That's par 5. Great, we get to clatter driver.
Falling, falling over your own shoelaces.
Doable.
I haven't got too much chance.
This is not really. It's a couple of swipes I don't think I've got in the locker to get here in 2. So, right. All right, let's give it a go though.
So we hosted a couple of turn. Nice. We hosted. I did a couple of sim nights with the gang that I went away with, playing this golf course. And it's funny how you now look at the screen differently, having played the golf course.
As I say, visually how...
It's
'cause
very,
some
very
courses
accurate.
on here, if they don't have slopes and things, are quite hard to pick things out. But is it...
Very accurate.
Yeah.
Super,
Even that
super
little
accurate.
cheeky halfway hut there on the left.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's going to draw tight to the bunker. Tiger line, look at that.
Oh, it's a big two-shotter to get on from here.
I've got further in than I've hit it. I noticed on my first hit. That's not going to stop me having a go.
No.
293, not doable with this club, but we're still going to give it a go. Oh, it's giving me the layup line. I don't want that.
I don't want the layup line, Simon. Get that wood out. Cut it around the corner. Hit it in the trees. Make 9.
Right. 293 uphill, 16 foot.
Yeah, again another treacherous
Unless my
green.
name's Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, just don't get it off the bottom and hit those trees.
Okay. I've got nothing left after that. No, absolutely nothing left.
You hit that solid, right?
Yeah. I've got nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. That was you. That was everything left on the table.
Yeah. 260 uphill. I'll take that.
Well,
I'll give you, seeing as you're definitely going for the green.
yeah, definitely going for the green. Aim us straight at it. I'm going to give me
The full clatter.
give full clatter.
Oh, hit well. Sounded like. Just coming back. Oh, look at this.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Good effort.
I'm back in another bunker. Oh, your worst nightmare.
Nice. 40
Your
yard bunker
40-yard trap shot.
shot. Yeah.
40-yard trap shot.
Never know. Hold it. We're still.
I still need you to make
That's a smelly pin. To be fair.
again, the first round we played, they had it there. The
Oh,
greens are without doubt it's defence. Without doubt it's defence. Yeah, you can get yourself in some really nasty spots.
Okay, that's nicely played. Oh, that's very nicely played.
Thank you.
I've got 37 yards. Okay, not a favourite distance of mine, but. Right.
Up. Nice.
Got away with
Well,
it.
let's just hope it doesn't give you a 3-putt. That's the last thing we want. What's it going to give you? 3-putt, 3-putt,
Yeah,
3-putt.
probably.
Voodoo, 3-putt,
3-putt,
voodoo.
1-putt. 2-putt par. 2-putt par.
Well played. Well played.
Good fun.
Super. Lots of fun. Let's do a little what's in the bag, because I think
Yeah.
that's probably quite interesting for everybody to see
Yeah.
what you play with.
Old school.
Old school indeed.
So, as you said, an M4 driver. So historically, I've always hit it very, very high, spinny high. So I've been in tailor-made drivers for a long time. I played, was it the R510 TP, going back a number of years. But for me, it's always been about keeping launch down a bit, keeping spin down a bit. And that head, because the CG is actually quite far forward and it sits a little bit open. Historically, mine missed left. So that's about bringing flight down and forwards and being,
Never been
very
8.5 degrees.
been very efficient at keeping that spin down. So forgiveness to gain. So I'll probably look at that next year.
So you would?
Epic Flash Sub-Zero. So again, historically, always high spin. So hence the Sub-Zero. But this one's got the heavyweight in the back. So as my swings developed a bit, I've needed a little bit of extra spin. So having the ability to bring that back has helped. But I'm using it mainly off the tee, or it's a very long second shot. So the slightly stronger flight just suits me well. And the Kyoshi purple having a little bit of kick in the tip, it does provoke some comments if I wear anything purple.
Yeah, and I do believe
I do wear purple.
And I do believe you've got a pair of shoes to match these, haven't you?
Similar. Yeah.
And then you got your 2 iron.
Yeah, you got the driving iron. I've never really been a hybrid player. I think with my miss being left and tendency to get handle forward, it's always suited trapping an iron. Yeah. I'm getting better at that, but it's a put it in play off the tee club mainly, or I play a reasonable links golf. Halford Stewart, Grafton Morris stuff, Hunt Stanton and Sandwich.
That makes sense then. And these beauties.
Yeah, some old school. I've actually got a PXG 4 on just to bridge the gap.
I beg your pardon.
I dropped my 3 on a few years back.
Okay.
To add a wedge in, and so that gives me a bit of a bridging up to my 2 on, the second gen 311T. So a little bit of face tech without it being too. I mean, again, very like with the rest of my bag. I like the cleaner look, but wanted a bit of tech for that. But then into mirror blades, which I played for 17, 18 years now in various formats.
You get a nice shape on those as well, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I am considerate of the fact that they're not making my life any easier, but iron ball striking has always been probably the best bit of my bag. And it's the lack of any flyers and distance consistency is really what it's really for me what I've played blades since I was 14, so 28 years. So I'm so used to
28, not 32.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Just checking.
So I'll be wearing it well, I think anyway. But I just like the feel and the flight control and spin control off for them. So
and the
tightless
Vokey.
I've always liked the raw finish, and because my failing with the swing is to get the handle forward. So what the Vokeys have given me, like with the in the 56, so I go 56 bent to 55 and then 60. With the D grind gave me a little bit more bounce. So I've just softened the crest off it a little bit, but my bad ones where I get handle forward and steep. So they gave me a bit more bounce to play with.
And the shafts in your irons?
The CT115 opens. Right. So really, the most consistent flight that I've ever seen out of a shaft. But they just work for me from a timing point of view. So historically I was heavy tips. I played PXIs to get where I was shoving the handle forward, and as my swing got better, I didn't need that, and they allow me to be much more neutral.
And then the wand, which you use very, very well. Which you do use
streaky,
very well.
But no, I got it's a Bettinardi. Did a custom job on one, so it was my 40th a couple of years back. So we decided to custom one up. So it's the same shape, exactly the same. It's a Queen B11, same shape as Queen B series. So I need the short neck to promote a bit of toe hang. I over rotate. So I need it to help me drop on the inside a bit on the way back, and then allow me to square it through. So, and so that head style worked best. But I kind of decided I wanted a bit of a. I've always liked the single piece milled head rather than inserts, and that just let me kind of funk it up a little bit with some etchings on it. But
nice touch.
And actually recently painted over the line on the back. So doing a bit of session with Mike, I see a target wood line as left, but I see the face as square. So if I trust myself to use the face to line it up, I line it up better. So just I haven't taken on course yet with that, but I've painted over the line to take the visual stimulation. So.
And over the winter, do much practice?
Going to try and get as much in. I haven't been able to much recently, but I need to continue doing the work that we've been doing. I would just if I can get at least one session a week doing some swing drills, even if it's not with data, just getting the feel right. So as you know, I've always shoved forward and then done that. So if I can keep that heel down and push back, that's my feel. I just need to ingrain that over the winter. So would like to. That's the plan anyway.
But still love the game. Enjoy playing.
I love the game. Just such a passion. I've always, like Mark as well. Was just so love the game of golf, and it's nice when you get to spend time on your own game, and just having a little sort of snippet of time every now and then is going to always to be enjoyed. So,
brilliant. Well, listen. Hopefully you've enjoyed the hour of us playing around Casa Campo. Lots of insights coming from today's session. Obviously, Castelnavarino, a trip out to Greece with our travel partners, Golf Escapes. If that's something that interests you, you can email me, actually, Stuart@precisiongolf.co.uk, if you want to find out some more info on that. Hiring of the sim bays in terms of practice, you can check out our website.
Yeah, just book it online as per any appointment.
Yeah, you can book through there. And any other questions you have, feel free to email any of us here at Precision Golf. Drop in, make a call.
Anything you'd like to see us do video-wise, reviews, product reviews, info, again, just let us know. We'll do whatever anyone wants us to do, well, within reason, anything, whatever anyone wants us to do. So, look forward to that.
Great stuff. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed today's session. Hit the like button, subscribe and share with your friends, and we look forward to seeing you all next time.
Thanks a lot.